What is going on, guys? Today we're going to be on the PTR for Overwatch to show off the new character Sigma. He is not available on the main Overwatch game or the console at all, Overwatch game, to be played. He's only available to be played on the PTR right now, so I wanted to get some gameplay out to show you guys Sigma. He's a main barrier tank. And here, let me just go into a practice range real quick. He is a main barrier tank whose shield is pretty similar to Reinhardt's, actually. So if I go into Reinhardt, you can see how his shield is like this. Reinhardt, whenever he shields, it takes damage, right? So if it takes damage, he has to wait for it to heal before he can it's max. So if his shield takes damage, he puts it down and pulls it back up. It'll have the same damage as it was after it took damage because it didn't heal. So Sigma shield is similar to that. It's not like Orissa's, which heals every single time it is used, and it's got some interesting placement though. The way it shoots out is similar to pre-rework Sim's shield, except the fact that you can actually stop the shield in front. So once you pull it back, you can heal it. But let's say there's like a Pharah in the air trying to ult, something like that. So you can protect your team with the shield and have the Pharah kill herself because of splash damage against the shield. See, it can be useful in ways like that and can make for some pretty interesting clips. But I mean, it's a shield that's definitely going to take some getting used to, because it is something that you can actually just throw up to your teammates if they're just like right there. That was actually a really bad placement. I'm sorry about that. But if your teammates are right here, you like up there, you can throw your shield up to them to protect them. That was also really bad. I'm sorry. See, I'm not doing it very well. It's got some timing to it, and it's certainly going to take some getting used to. His weapon is the hyperspheres. The hyperspheres are little, I don't know, black hole balls. That's probably what I'm just gonna call them. They ricochet off walls and floors and ceilings, and can make for some interesting trick shots and stuff like that. The other thing is, if you're in a corridor like this one, they can just keep, they can ricochet multiple times, or usually only twice, because the thing with these is they don't have a lot of range. If you see, like, I'm going to head over to this bot over here. I'm going to try to hit this one with my hyperspheres. I can't. I still can't. I can now, but I can't from back here or here. It's because they're short to medium range weapon, and are not really useful. They're not useful at all from far away. But they actually do damage you. You can damage yourself with these things. I am taking damage, if you can tell. But that's something to be cautious of when you're at low health. It doesn't do a lot to you, as much as it does to like the enemies, but it's definitely gonna have to take some caution. His left shift is a sort of a defense matrix, but if you look in the bottom left at my health, it went up. It's because it provides shields whenever you consume damage. So if I consume the damage that is applied to me, which can only be done like if they're shooting something at me. If it's like a laser beam or like a melee, I can't consume that, but I can consume like bullets and stuff like that. Like I took 7 shields from that. The max amount of shields you can have from one, I believe, is 400, and you can go up to 800 health as Sigma. And that's a lot, but the shields do disintegrate over time if you haven't, if you didn't notice. I'll show you again. Can you respawn, please? Thank you. Alright, now shoot me.
Target down.
The shield is gonna disintegrate over time. Watch. Yeah, there he goes. So, the thing is, you can actually consume certain ults with this shield. Defense matrix, I guess. I don't know. Gravity pull, I guess. Gravity, I don't know. You can actually consume certain ults. Like if a McCree were to high noon and you were targeted, the shot that would hit you if you consume that would give you a lot of shields. Zarya's ult, like a Graviton Surge, that can be completely consumed. Completely. I don't know if that's a bug or not, because I remember Jeff Kaplan saying something otherwise about about being able to consume a Graviton Surge. But we shall see, I guess. So if it gets removed, the ability to eat a Graviton Surge gets removed, then yeah. His E is a Rock Throw. The Rock Throw does damage, but it knocks them back and knocks them down. See, he was knocked down for very, very little. It also seems that if you're too close, the Rock Throw damages you. I didn't notice that earlier. But the Rock Throw is a good way to knock people back. But the thing is, the farther you are away, the more knockback it has. See how he was knocked back for much longer than he was? The farther you are away, the more knockback it has. It seems that the max amount of knockback you can have, though, if you're like on the other side of a map or something and you manage to hit them, is only about like 3 seconds or so, 2 to 3 seconds. But that's still certainly enough to have your teammates deal some damage and kill the enemy pretty quickly, because they can't really do anything. They're stunned. Alright, we're gonna go on to his ult now. His ult is similar to a Graviton Surge in the fact that it suspends them. Not like that. That was interesting. That's a pretty good use for that. But it suspends them in the air, and that suspension allows your teammates to deal damage. The other thing you may have noticed is I fly into the air, and me flying into the air allows me, I can actually utilize this mobility in my ult to get to higher places that I wouldn't be able to get to otherwise. So say on top of that building up there, I would be able to use my ult and get that. Even if I miss anybody in my ult, I still have that same amount of time to use the flying to get onto something. I still have the ability to fly even if I miss my ult, only for a little bit of time. You'd think because you can float that you'd be able to fly anyway. Oh, speaking of floating, he doesn't have shoes, but he floats, right? Why can he crouch? He can crouch. I don't understand that fully, but maybe he does like a sitting in midair or something. I'm not sure. But back to the ult. Let's see if I can actually get something. So it basically grabs them, suspends them in the air, and slams them down. But see, I forgot to show you the flying. But yeah, that slam down, the ult does exactly 50% of your max health. Doesn't matter who you are. So if you use it against another Sigma, he'll take 200 damage, right? No matter what. Even if he's at less than 200 health, he will take 200 damage and die. Same with Tracer. She's 150 health, right? So she'll take 75 damage no matter what. So guaranteed at least 75 damage. And the reason I say at least is because whenever they are suspended in midair, it gives your team time to shoot the enemy. It gives them time to deal extra damage and have a chance at taking out the enemy faster. Certainly, I think that's one of the better parts of the ult. The damage doesn't feel as all that significant, but it is certainly I really like that use. Basically a similar to a graviton. I keep saying that over and over again, but not as suspendy, I guess. Not as suspension powerful. I missed that. Alright, so his ult though, it allows you, so I'm gonna purposely miss that. Okay, I got him. But I can still fly around, right? And it allows me to get up to places like this, and I can still throw my shield down from up here, but it's okay, well it's not gonna look pretty because the shield is gonna be at an angle or something, like kinda like this. But down on the ground. Yeah. So that is certainly useful, and he's a character that is certainly going to take, for me at least, some getting used to, because of his unique moveset. Unique moveset. I mean, he's basically got a defense matrix and a graviton, so I mean, I don't know. But especially his weapon is very, very interesting. It sort of feels like Junkrat's, but with no arc and more ricochet. It's interesting. Is to say the least. It's interesting. But I think I'm gonna find this character pretty fun to use, and that's gonna be all for now. So I shall see you in the next video.